The Lorax. He speaks for the trees have no tongues. But if the trees could talk to us today, we wouldn't like what they have to say. The problem is man-made climate change, and our scientists are acting just like the Lorax, but we are ignoring them. First, let's learn what this could do to us. Then, we need to go to the roots of the problem. After we've done that, we can discuss ways to save our world and listen to the Lorax. This threat is like no other. According to The Hill, the Pentagon has called man-made climate change a threat multiplier with the ability to exacerbate many of the challenges the U.S. faces today, including infectious disease and terrorism. NASA has been researching this new threat as well. According to them, the amount of carbon in parts per million has risen to 402 in just the last 50 years. Throughout human history, with projections being able to date back as far as 650,000 years ago, we haven't seen levels hit over 300. The National Weather Service has also been researching this new threat. According to them, man-made climate change is causing more frequent and more dangerous natural disasters. We need to listen to the Lorax, for we can still prevent the loss of our one and only Earth. Now let's go to the roots of the problems. The carbon dioxide emitted from coal, plants, trucks, cars, and ships, it goes into the atmosphere. This carbon acts as a blanket. Normally sunlight comes to the Earth and is reflected, but this carbon will have the sunlight go to the Earth, bounce from the carbon and back to the Earth, which causes the Earth to warm and the climate to change. 97% of scientists and over 99% of meteorologists agree with the idea that climate change is happening and happening now. The theory has been repeatedly challenged, but it is as strong as ever. The ones who disagree are most often fueled by fear of changing their habits or self-interest. Now, we all know that plants take in carbon dioxide, so you'd think our environment would be able to take in our emissions. That is not the case, because the plants that are supposed to be taking in our CO2 are being chopped down. More specifically, we are chopping down forests the size of Panama every year. Because of deforestation, the environment cannot take in our CO2 emissions, and we will see the destruction of more ecosystems if this continues. Let us not suffer the same fate as the Onceler did. But to solve this problem, to make a safer, cleaner, and renewable planet for generations to come, we have to make some changes. To try and lower carbon dioxide emissions, we need to institute a carbon tax. This would make each person and company pay a small tax on their carbon output on things such as electricity and gasoline. Everyone would directly feel the cost of their consumption. It would also help with our debt and budget crises. We'd be killing two birds with one stone. And we can invest some of the money from the carbon tax into alternative energy research, which will result in more advanced and more efficient fuels. Let's not be the villains of this story. The new industries and technologies created by new energies will lead to more jobs, not less. According to CNN, in just the last 5 years, the solar industry has doubled in jobs, adding 35,000 in just 2015. Wind, solar, geothermal, biomass, and hydro energy all cost around the same or less than coal or natural gas per kilowatt hour, according to the United States Department of Energy. Combating climate change will help the economy. It will not hurt it. The world recently came together in Paris and agreed to fight climate change at its roots. 195 countries all agreed to keep the Earth from warming 2 degrees Celsius above average. We are not in this alone. As the global superpower, we can lead by example to other countries and ratify the agreement. Because once enough carbon-producing countries ratify the agreement, it will become binding, and the world will hold each other accountable. Contact your congressmen and women and tell them that we need to join the global fight and ratify the Paris Agreement. We need to spread the word of the Lorax to the world. But to solve this, our leaders not only need to shape up, but we do too. The basic conservation that you can do at home with simple things as turning off the lights when you're not using a room can change the world. Carbonfund.org and EnergyStar.gov are excellent resources for you to find ways that you can conserve at home. The only way that we can tackle this is by the major energy policy reforms I've suggested and by the small but very impactful habit changes that you can easily make every day. When we do this, the Lorax, who speaks for the trees, will give us a good word. Without these two forces working together, this crisis could make this planet unsafe for the future generations. Climate change is real and it's happening now. The cost of failing to solve this threat is all too horrible to bear. So let's unite, meet the challenge, and strive to fix it. As said by the Lorax himself, unless someone cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Let us be the ones who care and change our world for the better. Let us learn from the Lorax and save our Earth for the future generations. Thank you.